The quiet suburb of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, was rocked to its core when one of its own was accused of a shocking act of violence that stunned the nation. On a fateful day in Butler, a young man named Thomas Matthew Crooks allegedly opened fire at a Donald Trump campaign rally, leaving one person dead and two others wounded. How could a 20-year-old kitchen worker from this close-knit community be the one behind such a brazen attack? In this video, we'll delve into the life and motivations of Thomas Matthew Crooks, exploring the details that led to this unthinkable incident. We'll examine the evidence, hear from those who knew him, and try to unravel the mystery surrounding this tragic event that has left the community reeling. From his academic achievements and quiet demeanor to his political leanings and access to firearms, we'll piece together the complex portrait of the man at the center of this shocking assassination attempt. Join us as we uncover the truth and try to make sense of how a young man from a small town could find himself at the heart of a national crisis. This is a story that challenges our assumptions and forces us to confront the unsettling reality that violence can erupt from the most unexpected places. Brace yourself as we explore the Thomas Matthew Crooks story, a tale that will leave you questioning the very nature of human behavior. Background information on Thomas Matthew Crooks. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the alleged shooter in the Donald Trump campaign rally incident, hailed from the quiet suburb of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, just outside Pittsburgh. Despite his small-town roots, Crooks managed to stand out academically, graduating from Bethel Park High School in 2022. His achievements were recognized with a $500 prize for his excellence in math and science. Crooks's professional life was equally unassuming. He worked in a nursing home kitchen, a job that required a background check and raised no concerns among his colleagues. However, his political affiliations were more complex. While he was a registered Republican, he also made a $15 donation to Act Blue, a liberal campaign group, in 2021. This donation suggests a level of political engagement that might not have been immediately apparent from his quiet demeanor. Another aspect of Crooks's life that raised eyebrows was his membership at the Clairton Sportsman's Club, a shooting range known for its high-power rifle facility. This membership, combined with the fact that the weapon used in the shooting was an AR-style rifle purchased by his father, raises questions about the extent of his access to firearms and the potential influence of his family's involvement in the shooting. The combination of Crooks's academic achievements, his political donations, and his membership at the shooting range paints a complex picture of a young man who, despite his quiet demeanor, had a more nuanced and potentially contradictory set of interests and affiliations. As the investigation into his motivations and actions continues, these details will likely play a crucial role in understanding the events that unfolded on that fateful day. Conflicting accounts of Crooks' personality and behavior. As investigators delved deeper into Thomas Matthew Crooks' life, a complex and sometimes contradictory picture emerged of his personality and behavior. Those who knew him from Bethel Park High School offered vastly different accounts of the young man at the center of this shocking incident. According to CBS, some classmates described Crooks as a loner, someone who kept to himself and was often the target of bullying. He was a loner who was frequently bullied and sometimes wore hunting outfits to school, one former classmate told local news outlet KDKA. This portrayal of Crooks as a quiet, odd figure who didn't quite fit in with his peers was echoed by others who remembered him as weird. However, not everyone saw Crooks in the same light. Summer Barkley, another former classmate, cast him in a different light, telling the BBC that he was always getting good grades on tests and was very passionate about history. She noted that anything on government and history he seemed to know about, and that he was well liked by his teachers. Others simply remembered him as quiet, with one classmate saying, "He was there, but I can't think of anyone who knew him well." The shocking shooting incident. The quiet town of Butler, Pennsylvania, was the unlikely setting for a scene of pure terror on that fateful day. Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old kitchen worker from the nearby suburb of Bethel Park, had allegedly made his way to the Donald Trump campaign rally armed with a deadly weapon, an AR-15 rifle. As the former president addressed the crowd, Crooks, undetected by the security detail, opened fire. The crack of the rifle echoed through the air, and pandemonium ensued. One audience member was struck and killed, while 2 others were wounded, their cries of pain and fear piercing the chaos. But Crooks's rampage was short-lived. Quick-thinking Secret Service agents spotted the shooter and took immediate action. A single shot rang out, and Crooks fell to the ground, his life extinguished in an instant. The community was left reeling, struggling to comprehend how one of their own could have committed such a heinous act. The investigation that followed only deepened the mystery. Authorities discovered suspicious devices in Crooks' vehicle, adding an even more sinister element to the already shocking incident. What had driven this young man, who by all accounts was a quiet and unassuming member of the community, to such an extreme and violent act? As the details of the shooting and the subsequent investigation unfolded, the people of Bethel Park found themselves grappling with a range of emotions: disbelief, sorrow, and a desperate need to understand how one of their own could have been capable of such a horrific crime. The community, once seen as a peaceful haven, was now forever scarred by the actions of Thomas Matthew Crooks. Despite his academic prowess and apparent interest in government and history, Crooks' attempts to join the high school rifle team were unsuccessful. Jamison Myers, a former member of the varsity rifle team who graduated alongside Crooks, told CBS that Crooks did not even make the junior varsity team after trying out. Another former classmate echoed this sentiment, saying Crooks shot terrible and wasn't really fit for the rifle team. Politically, Crooks seemed to lean conservative, according to some of his former classmates. Max Smith, who took an American history course with Crooks, recalled a mock debate in which they both participated, saying the majority of the class were on the liberal side, but Tom, no matter what, always stood his ground on the conservative side. This political stance, combined with his failed attempts to join the rifle team, only added to the mystery surrounding his alleged actions. As the investigation continues, these conflicting accounts of Crooks' personality and behavior will likely play a crucial role in piecing together the events that led to the shooting and understanding what may have motivated him. The community of Bethel Park, still reeling from the shock of the incident, will be watching closely as more details emerge about the young man at the center of this national tragedy. Investigation and aftermath. As the dust settled on the horrific shooting, the FBI immediately launched a comprehensive investigation to uncover Crooks' motive and the planning behind his actions. Authorities were determined to leave no stone unturned, scouring every detail of the young man's life in search of answers. Crooks' family, still reeling from the devastating news, cooperated fully with the investigators, hoping to shed light on what could have driven their son to such a violent act. Meanwhile, a bomb investigation was underway at the Crooks family home in Bethel Park, adding an even more unsettling element to the already complex case. The community of Bethel Park, once a quiet and close-knit suburb, found itself in a state of shock and disbelief. Neighbors and former classmates struggled to reconcile the Thomas Matthew Crooks they knew with the alleged perpetrator of the shooting. How could someone from their own backyard be capable of such a heinous crime? As the investigation continues, the details of Thomas Matthew Crooks's life and the events leading up to the shooting at the Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, have left the nation and the Bethel Park community grappling with a profound sense of disbelief and sorrow. The conflicting accounts of his personality, the questions surrounding his access to firearms, and the discovery of suspicious devices in his vehicle have only added to the mystery and complexity of this tragic case. With that said, the impact of this incident will undoubtedly be felt for years to come. The community of Bethel Park, once seen as a peaceful haven, has been forever changed, and the nation as a whole must confront the unsettling reality that violence can erupt from the most unexpected places. As the investigation continues, the hope is that the truth will emerge, and some measure of understanding and closure can be found amidst the heartbreak and devastation.